You guys, everything begins with personal development. Everything begins with going all in on you physically and mentally, becoming the man you respect, becoming the man you admire, working on the physique, reading books, investing in yourself, and just becoming that next level version of yourself. Now, in order to take it to that next level, we also need to be spiritually and financially aligned. We need to be winning 360. So this isn't like, oh, phase one is you start working on your fitness and your mindset, and then you ditch that and you go more career. That's the biggest mistake ever, guys. You don't want to do that. This is the foundation. Fitness and mindset is the foundation. You start there, but it stays the entire time, and you also get better at it the entire time. This is the foundation of your skyscraper. But then to go truly to the top, the other two things really that you want are that career, which is really important, spiritually and financially aligned. Them two are going to help you with your career. And relationships, okay? Like those three things, if we've got the physique and the mindset, we've then got that spiritually aligned finance career path, and then we've got good relationships, whether it's with our network or with women, etc., family. They're like the three major pillars in my eyes that will create that 360 fulfillment and happiness and inner peace and inner freedom as a man. And then as a byproduct, we'll have externally manifested freedom. You know, we'll live abundantly. We'll be able to be wherever we want, whenever we want. By being the man physically and mentally, by being in a career which is truly aligned to us and also facilitates freedom logistically, i.e. an online scalable model, and then relationships, good relationships. We want that inner peace. And again, relationships all just comes as a byproduct of these ones. Okay, so like today we're going to be discussing how you can shift into that career path, which is going to facilitate your inner peace. It's going to facilitate your inner freedom. You're going to be spiritually aligned. You're going to wake up beaming with energy every morning. You're never going to wake up thinking you have to work. It's just life, okay? You're fulfilled. It's what you want to do. If there was no money involved, you're doing it. But not only that, you're in an online scalable model, which means you can have that external freedom as well. Like a lot of people talk about, oh, Tom, you know, I want to be living out and have places in Dubai and Bali like you. And I'm like, okay. What are you doing right now? What's the plan? I'm like, oh, right now I'm just in my job. I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm like, I don't think you guys sometimes realize how retarded that is. Yeah? Like, it's just not aligned. We have to be aligned with the future outcome we want today to get that. So I know it's a big thing. I know it's a tricky thing, but that's what I want to help you guys with. So I'm going to show you guys the framework, the lens you need to look at things in order to make that shift. We've got to take this. You're already working on the physical and mental side as much as you can. Everyone needs to be doing that. So if you're not already doing that, it's the main thing you need to be doing, okay? And especially by even doing this, you're going to be called to this bit even more so, okay? You're going to be called to now tune into like your potential. If you can't even see your potential, you can't even dream big, and you don't have this crazy big vision, it's because you've not done enough of this stuff, right? And this stuff, keeping this going and getting better at it's only going to help here, okay? And how you operate. But you will be eventually called to a point where you're like, I'm the fucking man. You look in the mirror and you're like, you know, you could be doing okay in your career. You know, you could be earning 3K, 2K a month like I was back in my 9 to 5 as an engineer. You know, 2K a month at the time. And I was called to move into something bigger, closer to my purpose. And it was like, for me, it was like life or death. It was like, this is the only thing I can do. I couldn't even live not following my purpose. It was at that level. Now, I also know a lot of people, and I mean, we've got a lot of business clients who have also made the shift from more of like a mature point in life where they're doing very well. They've almost like, they're pretty much mastering a career, and they might be a lawyer, or they may work in a top-end marketing firm or work in sales and have really high-paying 9 to 5 jobs. You know, when I say 9 to 5, guys, I don't just mean like my old position, which was like a couple of grand a month. You could be in a 9 to 5 and earning 6, 7, 15 grand a month easily. But you then will get that time where you just think, I'm called to something great, because you've done enough of the personal development work. You are more tuned into your conscience, that authentic voice of God, which is pulling you to your higher self. And part of being your highest self is serving, and it's following your true passion. And as a byproduct of doing that and becoming the best and becoming valuable in that, you will be paid reciprocal. And that's what's cool, guys. And like I said, we work with a lot of guys where it's like they go from this 9-to-5 path and they want to come into the real path, which is close to their spirituality, which is close to their purpose, their fulfillment, where it's never going to feel like work. Because a lot of people realize, even if they're in a well-paid 9-to-5, it's not about the money, it's about the internal freedom and fulfillment and purpose, but also the external freedom. Like, you want to live this life of freedom. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to have places in Dubai, in Miami, in Bali, and just live that life where you just have complete autonomy. You don't have to ask people, no matter how much you're paid, can you take time off work? If you want to just structure your day up, like every single day I have is structured exactly how I want, right? Like, life doesn't get better for me. Like, I never feel like I'm just doing what I love. And that's what people will be called to when they're going all in on the personal development. Now, what I want to show you guys to do, and the mistakes around going from this career that you're currently in, we're going to call it a 9-to-5 for the sake of it, and moving into your true highest self purpose. And for the sake of it, we're going to use coaching as an example. You know, like, coaching is arguably the highest frequency. Self-transcendence, it's you've mastered something and you want to help other people do that. But it could also apply to, you know, e-com, it could apply to agency model, like all of these things, guys. All right. And there's two major mistakes that people make. They will say, yeah, well, I want to be in that career, you know, I want to be a coach. Yeah, I want to be living like you. I want to be living like you. And I go, okay, what are you doing? They're like, well, I'm just waiting for the right time, waiting until I got some money. And I'm like, that's the worst mindset ever. Okay, so the first mistake is people just stay in their current chapter and think that waiting and getting, just keeping turning up to this job is now miraculously, with the same inputs, going to create them the perfect opportunity to just one day just snap their fingers and just jump into this next chapter. That's never going to happen, right? And you're going to feel that lack of action expressed as anxiety, as stress, as fear around, am I ever going to be able to do it, right? When you know you're in alignment, when you know you're following the blueprint, the reason we give all our clients a blueprint is because then they know they're in 100% alignment, and they have then 100% faith. They just know they do these things and they're guaranteed X outputs. That's how you want to be operating. Whereas when you're just hoping and wishing, you operate from fear. You don't know it's already done. Everything I want to get, everything I've got today, everything when I was back in my old self, I knew I was having it. I knew it was already mine because I was acting in alignment with it. So the first thing, guys, is if you're in this 9-to-5 and you want to be over here, we need you building the mansion whilst you're living in the small apartment. The small apartment, for the sake of this analogy, is the 9-to-5. You're living in the 9-to-5, you're living in the small apartment, but you need to be building the mansion. And when the mansion's ready, you pivot. Most people just keep living in this small apartment and then they just think one day the mansion's ready. It's not going to be ready, guys, ever. They don't build themselves, funnily enough. So you need to be in this chapter, living in the small apartment, but you also need, around this 9-to-5, you need to set your day up for success to be working on building this mansion so that you can just step into it. So let's say you're in the 9-to-5. You're working 9-to-5. Let's say, okay, including commute, logistics, let's call it your 9-to-5 days, 8 till 6. I would be then saying, okay, 4 a.m. till 8 and 6 p.m. on a night till 10 p.m. We've got another 8 hours of the day there where we can be working on building our mansion. Now, what is building the mansion? It may be, okay, who do I need to become to actually do this next chapter? Let's say you want to be a coach. Who do I even need to be so that the audience I want to help will listen to me? I.e., you've done something, you've already achieved something, you've become valuable, so then you're going to be actually valuable in an industry, okay? Who do I need to become? Then the skills, the knowledge, maybe it's posting the content, investing in the mentor, actually understanding how to do it. So you've got 8 hours. At either side of your work day, you need to be spending time building the mansion. Now, it may take you 1 month. We've had clients go from 0 to 10K coaching in less than 30 days. Okay? So this process may be 1 month. For some people, if you're not going all in on it, It may be 6 months, 12 months, 4 years, right? Depending on how much leverage you've got and who you're working with and how much knowledge you can just plug and play and time collapse. But you need to be building the mansion either way, okay? Now, some people who are 100% committed just go to the best construction people and just go, build me this best mansion as fast as possible, right? Like when guys invest in me, that's effectively what they're doing. They're like, I'm gonna do this, let's build it as fast as possible. I'm not here to mess around. They're the type of people I work with. People that want serious stuff and they want it now and they just don't want to mess around. They're there because they mean business, okay? And they're turning up to their 9 to 5 and then we go, right, this is how your morning set up, this is how your evening set up. We're going to be working on your personal blueprint and we're going to be working on your business blueprint. So in those 8 hours, either side of your current reality, everything is going to be structured to build in this mansion. Now, when this mansion is ready, okay, now when the mansion is ready, it doesn't mean all the, the light fittings are in, every piece of paint is done. It just has to be ready enough to live in, to move over to. Like sometimes you'll be building a house, you'll move into it, and there's still a few bits to do. You still might need to put in a few bits of furniture, that's fine, right? But you shift over. So how do you know when you're ready? How do you know when the mansion's built? This is how I define the mansion being built. You've built yourself into the baseline of who you need to become so you would be valuable in a space. Let's say it's a fitness business that you want to build. Okay, like my first initial offers in coaching, just general fitness. Well, you have to be a good leader in that. You have to have done it yourself. If you want to help people get to 8% body fat, you need to have done it yourself. If you want to help people build a strong physique, you need to have helped people done it yourself. Okay, you need to have done it yourself so you can help people. Okay, so you need to have done it yourself, whatever you want to help people with, and you need to have understood the skills and knowledge. That's part one of building the mansion. And you're doing that either side of your workday. So like your personal development, you should be working harder on you than you work on your business, okay? Always. Because you are your business. The next part is we want to be making some sales. Might not be tons of sales, but we want to be making some. Because then we've got a proven concept. So for example, as a great example is one of my clients, Besh, who we did this exact with, and we did this in I believe 21 days, 0 to 10K per month. He was working in his job. We set up his morning, we set up his evening for personal development. Some of you guys already have the best physique and you're just not leveraging it. You're just not in a vehicle where you can actually now deliver that value to people and be fulfilled and off the back of it earn money. And Besh was similar. Besh had already done a lot of work on himself. He'd got himself to a good point, but we just got him into a nice shred, got him fucking sharpened up, got him dialed in with his habits. And then we also had his business blueprint. So whilst he was at the other side of his work, it was okay, this is what you need to do, on your Instagram content, this is how we're going to actually deliver the value to people. And that then allowed him, obviously we built out his offers and everything like that and his business blueprint, that allowed him to be making sales. Okay, you don't need to be at 10 grand, by the way, to shift. You could be at 1.5K, you could be at 2.5K, okay, which is the easiest thing in the world when you know what you're doing, okay? And you're making some sales. So you've got a proven concept. You won't have scaled, obviously, because you're still working most of your day in a 9 to 5, all right? And you're in your early days. So don't try and scale before you can scale. But you've got the skills, you've got the baseline knowledge, you've the baseline of who you need to become. Obviously, it's always going to be building. And you've made a couple of sales. So okay, we've got an offer and people buy it. Now we would just need to increase this volume. That's part one of building the mansion, part 1 and 2. The next thing is you would have a bit of a time constraint. So you're right, well, I actually can't get these light fittings put in now because I'm at work all day, I'm at my 9 to 5 all day. So you've got a time and energy constraint. So you've done a fair bit, but your job really now is holding you back. It's draining you that little bit more and you just physically can't do the other things that we need to do to build the business whilst in it. And the final thing is you need to be 100% committed. You need to be willing to go life or death on this. Every bit of finance you've got needs to go into it. You got to be willing to go homeless. Every bit of energy, every bit of time, every sacrifice you have to be willing to make. Otherwise it won't work. All right, but all of that sacrifice buys you back a life of freedom. And most people are just they just want to hold on to their current shit version of life and they just stay there. Whereas if you're willing to give up the vices and you're willing to just take orders from above from someone who's already done it, and you just adopt it, and you just shut up and you just go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to listen to any external noise. I'm just going to do exactly this. That's when you get results like Bash. It's when you get results like my client Spencer, who we got from 7 to 40K in a month. Okay, so that's really important. So you need to be building the mansion. Really important. A mistake I see a lot of people make also, which is a personal development problem. Obviously, the first mistake being they just never do any of this building the mansion and getting it ready to pivot into whilst, wanting to go over here. So they'll be like working the 9 to 5. They're just dreaming of this over here, but none of their day is in alignment with getting ready to move in. They're just hoping the tooth fairy's going to grow this mansion. And then you're going to feel that extreme level of anxiety and fear, right? That's 90% of people, okay? And then you get like 9% of people, 1% of people do it the correct way, and they, do exactly like what Bash and Spence did. But 9% of people do this. They go, right, I'm in my 9 to 5. I want to be a coach. And they currently look like absolute dog shit. They've never worked with a coach themselves. They've never gone all in on their fitness and mindset. They've never actually followed the process. They don't practice what they preach. And they just go, I want to be a coach for some money. And they have no value to give. They have no idea what they're doing. They're not somebody people would listen to because they've not done it themselves. They have no wisdom. Because what you got to understand with coaching is not about, does this person deliver like educational value from a book? Coaching has to come from wisdom. So everything I taught comes from, I have done everything and I help people from hindsight looking back. Too many people have never done the thing and they want to tell people. It's just completely wrong. It doesn't work like that, guys. The only form of education that truly works is wisdom. All right, that's what you need. You need human connection with wisdom, with people that have actually gone through it, and you're going through it right now. So these group of people, this 9%, they shift over, and then they go, nothing, they don't know anything. They're not who they need to be. No one listens to them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have an exact blueprint. They're not willing to 100% invest in themselves. They've got an ego. They think they already know it all, and then nothing happens. They might make like one sale, if that, just by a bit of fluke because they made this, and like just nothing's happening. They're just going around in circles, and then they quit and they go back to their old job. And then they go, oh yeah, that coaching, yeah, not for me really, it's saturated. When no, you just got personal development problems, okay? And then they'll be like, yeah, I'm just looking for something else. I'm gonna try trading next. And then they'll be like, yeah, trading's not for me, because they'll do the same mistake again. They'll go into it with no prior skills, without willing to do what it takes. Like, what did the people who were at the top in trading do? What did the people that are at the top in coaching do? They were building the mansion. They were going all in. They were investing themselves. They had the mentor figures. They were doing exactly what they said. All their finance, all their time, all their energy around their current thing was all in on it. Now, this group of people, they just go into it with a huge ego, and then they just fall back and they think it's an industry problem. It's all a personal problem. Everything is always a personal problem. Take 100% accountability. Everything is your fault, okay? And then this group of people just keep going around in a spiral. This industry, this industry, this industry. 5 years time, they've tried fucking 15 different things. None of them work. They're in the same place in life. Like, for me, this is even more stupid, okay? So the two stupid things are, you just think the mansion's going to build itself. You stay here and you're waiting. And the other one is you just jump and then you pivot back, jump, pivot back, jump, pivot back. The only way to do it, guys, is be in your current thing. Love the process. Just go into your current job, even if you don't like it. High energy. Give it everything you've got. Be in true alignment with the guy you want to become in the industry you want to be in, which is aligned to your cause. And we've got to set up that day with the personal blueprint on who you need to become and how they would operate, and the business side, whatever that business is. Like, I help guys obviously with the coaching businesses on any of their unique offers, coaching anything from fitness to real estate, anything, okay? Or it could be agency model. It could be online digital products, courses, but we've got to have you aligned with that outside. We've got to get proof of concept physically in who you are, but also business-wise. And then we pivot people out. And that's how we get guys within their first month, their first 2 months, their first 3 months, being able to shift into this full time, because we've built the mansion. Then we go in, we put the light decorations in, we do the final lick of paint, and then we just go, let's turn this mansion into a skyscraper, right? That's how we operate. But this is the way you need to see making that shift. So if you guys don't have the vision yet, come back to personal development. Just all focus on that. Don't even worry about your career. Keep becoming the best version of yourself until the day you look in the mirror and you go, I'm a machine. I can do anything. Now, what do I truly want? Like, what frustrates me? What would I do if there was no money involved? You should always be following the career path. What would I do if there was no money involved? And like, what do I just want to talk about? So like, what I do for a living doesn't feel like work because it's just the only thing I really honestly care about on the planet. And I'm just like, I just want to help people get in the best shape, get their habits aligned with who they need to be, just completely raise their frequency, get in the highest energy, love every minute of being themselves, being able to have an idea and create it. Whether it's with their business or physically or mentally on their relationships, by becoming the guy they need to be in alignment with creating that internal freedom first, physique and mindset, and external freedom with their business. Okay, that online value-based business aligned to their purpose and gives them fulfillment, but then we have it structured in a way that sales and is obviously going to be very valuable to people. So I don't ever feel like I'm working, okay? And that's when you've won in life, guys, when you're turning up for something greater than yourself. So guys, just sit back, have a think on it. What is your conscience calling you to? Let me know in the comments, like, where are you right now and what is that dream career path? What is it? Could be anything. You know, my goals aren't necessarily your goals, all right? But write it down and then think, what can we do to get you in alignment with that? Find someone that's already doing it and just listen to what they say and just do it and love the process, okay? I always say this, guys, there's a lot of intelligent people, supposedly. You know, there's a lot of people that articulate the words with all these big fucking flamboyant, and I'm like, I don't know why people do it. It's like their form of validation. Like, why are you speaking like that, bro? You got no, like, people speak like they know everything, and I'm like, bro, you're stuck in a 9 to 5 and you're not doing anything aligned. You're not intelligent. Intelligence is wanting something and being able to have that result. Intelligence is entirely results. You can speak as flamboyant as you want, guys, but if you don't have the result, you're not intelligent. If you want strong shoulders and big delts and you don't, well, you're not intelligent. If you want to be 8% body fat and you're not, then you're not intelligent. If you want the best chick but you don't, you're not intelligent. If you want to be internally in peace in your heart, fulfilled every day, but you don't have that in your life yet, you're not intelligent. If you want to be making multi-6, multi-7 figures online and have freedom and have your day set up perfectly for you, like there is no work, no feeling of work. If you don't have that, then you're not intelligent. And you got to drop that ego, guys. And we've got to get you aligned with that. So, guys, let's get you aligned. Drop a message below, drop a comment. Even shoot me a message on Instagram, Dr. as in Dr. Pearson. Shoot me a message. Where do you want to go? And then we can obviously discuss how we get you there, how we get you aligned. Whether at the start, maybe it is just the fitness and mindset side. Maybe you are ready to go straight in and launch this business and get everything aligned. Whatever that business may be, truly to your cause. Everyone's business should be entirely unique to them and set up in a way unique to them. Let's get it, let's go. I want to see you all obviously the best physically and mentally, but I do want to see you externally free. You know, we are men, we are humans. We're meant to roam. If you want a new fucking villa, you want a new pad today, you want to move countries today, you know, you should be doing that. You should be entirely free. Yeah? All the problems you also face with women, I get so many messages about how do you do this with women? Well, if you master the physical side, the mental side, and you're in full control, and you've got that financially free, adventurous life, well, you're extremely attractive to women. You don't need to worry about everything. Women, you will become an inbound machine, guys, once you've become the man physically and mentally, and you've also got that financial side, but not just finances and you got money in the bank, but you hate your job and you're stuck and you're going to ask your boss to leave. It's that financial side where you have complete freedom. Like, I could just go upstairs, chick, right, we're going out today, we're off on a helicopter ride around the fucking ocean. Like, that women love that shit. Do you really think you need to try with women? when you've got this life and she sees you disciplined, she sees you getting out of bed at 3 in the morning and you're mega disciplined, and she just knows there's a great future coming, and it's already great now. Like, women, you should never be trying with women. You know, they should be trying for you. Don't chase women. Women should be, I don't like no one needs to be chasing. I don't like, nothing's a game, guys. But you should be the man that they're inspiring to be like. You should be the man that they know thousands of other women want to be with. That's when you win with women. And if you're not winning with women, the answer is you. Like, if you just become the best you, like, you'll never have the problems. So all in on you. Love. See you soon, guys.